One of the joys that we have as a church, as an Anglican church, is not only to have our own congregation, our own church members, but to host other people who do not have church buildings. So here at St. Martin's, we have 43 guest congregations who worship here. Churches who don't have their own buildings, but find their home hosted by the Anglican Church. Amongst all of those churches, some are very large and some are very small. One of the smaller groups that we have are the Chaldeans, the Church of the East, who had dioceses here in the United Arab Emirates before 600 AD, and whose monastery is on Sir Beniyas Island. I believe as I walk around the churches and as we go from chapel to chapel, we have 15 different chapels. And as I walk around from place to place, I hear the worship of God in English, in Malayalam, in Telugu, in Tamil, in Urdu, in Arabic, in many different languages. And for me, one of the greatest privileges of being a priest of this church and host to these churches is to see that worship and the worship of God. For me, it's a glimpse of what heaven is going to be like, where people of every tongue and tribe and people and nation come together in the worship of God, in their own different languages, in their own different cultures, in their own way. It's a unique place that we have here, not only here in Sharjah, but across the UAE and the Gulf region as we host other churches.
The central tenet, one of the central tenets of evangelical Christianity is that the message of the Bible should be available to people from all nations. We want to see people from all parts of the world, all ethnicities, be able to hear and understand the Bible in their own languages. In fact, it's very important to us as evangelicals that worship should be intelligible, that people understand what we are doing in worship, and that they're able to express their praise to God in their own heart language. That's been a tenet of evangelical Christianity for 500 years, going back to the Protestant Reformation. And so we find it a great privilege and a blessing to be able to experience this diversity of worship here in Abu Dhabi, in the UAE.
Right now we have 18 different congregations that meet every week in Abu Dhabi at the Evangelical Church building in 16 different languages. Among those languages there's Arabic, English, Portuguese, Korean, Tagalog. There's many languages every single week.
Back to the late 60s, some of the Armenians from the Middle East, they started to come here to establish their own businesses. And during the 80s, the community started to grow up. And the Armenians majorly who are based here from Syria, Lebanon, it started to be apart from different countries too. Today, at the present days, we have 2 churches in the UAE. One, it's serving our people, the faithful people in Sharjah, since 1998. And the second one, serving our people, community members, the faithful in Abu Dhabi since 2014. It's a big pilgrimage for us to have this chance as one of the smallest communities, Christian communities in this country, to have the chance to build 2 church complexes. It is an honor for us to stay here, to establish and to pray with our own language.